Hello and welcome to Patched. I'm your host, Paul James. Today I'm joined by Matto Phillips. How's things, mate?
Good. Just
We're,
good.
we're both keeping kind of a close eye on the footy as we record this one. Your team is actively playing. My team is pissing away a golden opportunity to try and go back-to-back with the grand final. And we've kind of got a horse in the race with the tonight's game anyway. I'm hoping yours can continue to choke and give my lot a
Oh,
continued chance
of course.
despite their horrendous form. But anyway, we'll see how things are going there. We've got more important things to discuss though right now. There's basically been a report that's come out that Capcom has something big planned for release basically in the next 6 to 9 months, really, like kind of by the end of about April, May next year. There's been no specific reporting as to what that actually is, so that gives us all the scope in the world to just speculate, really. So we've got a few ideas. We were discussing things even before the show about the Capcom leak from, I don't know, 2021 or whatever it was, maybe even as far back as 2020. Can't remember exactly, but they kind of outlined a whole bunch of games, but of course probably the timelines for all those got screwed up with COVID. So we can kind of maybe refer back to that as we go. But I guess, and we've already discussed a little bit of this off camera, but what's your gut feel when it comes to whatever this game is? Because they say it's going to sell millions, whatever it is.
I know
Capcom is
that's
forecasting to
the
sell
big
millions.
bold statement that they've said is this game is going to get released on a specific date. I can't remember what it was. They had a date locked in straight up and
I
said
think it was by
gonna
like
sell.
April.
I believe it will be Bomberman. No way.
That's Konami anyway.
Oh, is it? I
Yeah.
thought it was Capcom.
No, there's Mega Man.
Oh, then it's not going to be Bomberman then. That's
Before
just silly.
March 2024, actually. Sorry.
March.
Yeah, March 2024. So
Well, of course, we all know it's going to be. It's going to be the big anticipated game of Resident Evil Hank.
and there's our first Capcom leak reference. That one, for what it's worth, for people watching and listening, if you didn't catch our episode or just even missed the news back in the day when that actually kind of broke, Resident Evil Hank is something that was slated for Q4 2024. Even back when that was published, and that would have been delayed by COVID and all that sort of stuff. So we're both very much looking forward to seeing whatever Resident Evil Hank is, but I think we'll be waiting a while still. I mean, any other thoughts beyond the one that we've probably both landed on that we'll discuss shortly?
Well, I think it's probably obvious. It's not going to be a Resident Evil game, or a new one for that factor. There's still probably another year or so for a Resident Evil. I don't even know what Resident Evil they're up to anymore. Is it
They would be going up to 9 for the like in terms
Nine.
of like continuing the story in the series. They'd be up to the ninth one. But they've obviously been doing the remakes. 4 came out early this year. I don't know. They've been putting out Resident Evils one a year since
Well, that is a fair
7 came
point.
out
Yeah,
pretty much. I think
it's
they
about
missed.
since 2 almost.
When did Village come out? Was that 2021 or 20? No,
I don't
2020
know.
was the remake of 3.
Okay, let's just-
2021 was the
so-
same
so
year as Ratchet.
this
And I'm
year-
pretty sure that was Resident Evil came out at the same time as Ratchet. So 2022 we didn't get one. We just got DLC for Village, and then 4 came out this year. So with the exception of last year, they've hit every year since Resident Evil 7 came out, which is I guess a fairly rapid clip. So I guess Resident Evil's not totally off the table.
not necessarily, unless. I mean, I don't know why they all say it's going to sell millions because it's just going to be another Resident Evil game. I don't understand the statement that if that's the case, it's like, oh, it's going to sell millions. Like, yeah, of course, it's a
Surprise.
Resident
Yeah.
Evil game. No shit. Of course, it's going to sell. Have you seen the sales for all their Resident Evil remakes or from the last decade?
Yeah,
They're
they've all
in the
been pretty huge.
They're in the millions, like 10 plus million.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you there. So I mean, look, Resident Evil feels almost too obvious for it to be that. Then again, I think the thing that we've both kind of landed on is also extremely obvious as well, in terms of sales success and that sort of thing. So I don't know. I guess there's other things that could bob up. Like they've already announced Dragon's Dogma 2. Maybe that does come out in kind of the first half of next year. But they seem to be pretty. I mean, the Capcom leak from back in whenever that was said it was meant to come out in Q2 2022. So we're already more than 12 months beyond that. Let alone the fact that it doesn't seem like it's even close to having a release date yet. So it's a possibility, I guess, given that it'll be almost 2 years by that point. since it was supposed to come out, but my gut says no. Street Fighter, I mean, the leak again referenced things like a Super Street Fighter 6 and an Ultra Street Fighter 6, but I think that's too soon for them to go down that path. I think they might upset a lot of fans if they went and pulled the like that upgrade version as soon as that. Like, it'll be less than 12 months after if they went and did that. I guess another interesting one was Onimusha, but I like the fact that they're looking to bring that back potentially, which is kind of cool. And that was apparently meant to be Q4 of last year. So again, probably not necessarily that far away, but I also don't think it's the sort of game that they're going to go, yeah, this is going to sell millions, and like it's the one you need to keep your eye out for. I think we're dancing around it, but I feel like it's Monster Hunter, right?
You would think.
Yeah.
The last Monster Hunter game we got was
Rise
2 years ago, which was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So 3 years if it does to this release date. And I sort of get the feeling that Monster Hunter Rise sort of came out around the same time, same date, roughly.
Oh, as when the leak happened.
Oh no, when Monster Hunter Rise got released onto the Switch.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
But it also could be Capcom Team Racing, because every developer seems to be going down a Rumble or a racing game. But who knows? But obviously, Monster Hunter would be the obvious one, you would think. Because that would definitely sell millions.
I'm just trying to work out, like, and I mean, I think about the Capcom leak again. Like, there's stuff that's happened. Like, we've obviously just had, oh, jeez, I've just gone blank on the name. The dinosaur shooting one. It's just come out. I just finished reviewing it the other day. No, the new one, the one that's like
the Dino Crisis,
2 weeks old.
It's not Dino Crisis.
No, everyone thought that Exoprimal.
Oh, Exoprimal. Dino Crisis is
like they've just put out Exoprimal, but that like there was nothing really in that Capcom leak that even suggested there was some sort of a dinosaur shooter game. So there was obviously stuff from that leak that was kind of missing or didn't get picked up on, and maybe that was just because the leakers didn't know what to look for.
Or the leakers just looked at it and went, a dinosaur shooting game, pass.
Yeah, they're not going to do that. As if they're going to bring back Dino Crisis.
So that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard of, and voila, everyone's like, I want to play it.
Yeah, I'm not too sure about that one, but so I guess there's little holes in that Capcom leak anyway. They did mention Mega Man. Surely.
Oh, that's the one I was trying to think of, not Bomberman.
Yeah.
I got my Bomber and my Megas mixed up.
Mega Man's not going to sell. Like, it's not the game that you go, oh, that's going to sell millions and millions and millions. Like, that's, yeah. Like, it's going to, I'm sure it'll be great, and they're looking to, it's awesome they're looking to still do Mega Man games, but I don't see it selling millions. And also the leak suggested it was something called, like, Mega Man Match, which feels like a mobile game. And not a...
Sounds like it.
Not like a full retail game, at which point then you're not really talking about sales, are you? You're normally talking, like, it's...
Monies.
Yeah, because it's...
Small children's money, pocket money.
Because it's probably free to play, and then, yeah, you're burning up your credit card from there.
Sure. Free to play game.
So everything just keeps kind of coming back to Monster Hunter, really. There was other things that were slated after Monster Hunter on the Capcom leak. There was Biohazard, which again is Resident Evil, Apocalypse, Super Street Fighter 6, Final Fight remake, Power Stone remake, Ultra Street Fighter 6, and then our mate Resident Evil Hank. But again, probably too soon to, like, I don't know, with the way things have kind of slid back, it feels like it's the right time for Monster Hunter again. So they've done all the DLC, they've put out the PlayStation, like the PS4, Xbox One versions. It was notably that it wasn't actually a PS5 version, it was a PS4 version. So they didn't, like, we haven't got technically like a next gen Monster Hunter game yet. So it kind of ticks all the right boxes. And I think like Rise was really big, but it didn't hit the same heights that World did in terms of sales and all that sort of thing. Still enormous sales, but not World like numbers. So I think they probably want to go back to that.
Not Final Fantasy VII numbers, just...
No. Yeah. I mean, look, if it was Square Enix, they'd be disappointed. So, despite the fact that it sold far more than almost anything that came out that year. I feel like after that success of World and how it really opened it up to the West, and then they've gone and put a game out for the Switch afterwards, I feel like they might want to go back to, well, let's use this RE engine, tap it out, go as hard as we possibly can, and create this eye-wateringly good-looking game. Because Monster Hunter World still looks great.
Oh yeah.
But
Definitely.
can you imagine what it would look like?
Oh man, I'm just thinking about now that stupid fire-breathing dinosaur. Just thinking about now.
You're not talking about like the Rathian and Rathalos and all those things.
No,
you're talking about the one that's more
stupid,
like the T-Rex, right?
Stupid T-Rex one that just hangs around and just reappears there. Just think of the old iguana thing, the jaguar or whatever.
There's Jagras, and you're thinking of the Anjanath.
Yes, that's the one.
Jagras is the big fat yellow guy, the very first thing.
Well, just think of the detail in that fat useless thing.
But yeah, Anjanath was the big T-Rex looking one that was kind of prowling around that same environment. So, that did breathe fire. So, yeah, it'll look good. Anything else you can think of that it might possibly be?
Well, the other thought was Devil May Cry, but I don't think that's gonna wow people as much as I would say a Monster Hunter game. And we haven't seen Devil May Cry for a while. When was 5? When did 5 come out?
5 came out they put out a PS5 version of it. That's how kind of recent it is. But Devil May Cry 5, I think it was 2020 before. No, 2019. So like we're due, especially because they were pretty happy with how 5 went. And there are like more games kind of stepping up to that plate. You've got Stellar Blade that PlayStation's putting out, or like working with a Korean team to put out. You've got Bayonetta still doing her thing, and there's others that have kind of had a crack at that. I mean, even Final Fantasy 16 itself is very much a Devil May Cry game in terms of the action. So there's more and more like contenders to their throne a little bit, but yeah, even that doesn't feel. I don't know. They don't want to blow the load on that too soon. Give it time. Maybe like minimum 5 years probably for that before they go with the 6th one. So again, we keep coming back to Monster Hunter.
So I think all signs point to Monster Hunter.
So if that's the case, when do they announce it? Especially if they're eyeing off, some time to launch before March 2024.
Probably around the holiday season when.
They leave it that late, where it's like 3 months and then it's out.
I don't know. Do you just leave it for when the day they just put a little timer on their little Capcom website of what the game will be, the big reveal to be Capcom Team Racing.
What about the fact that Jeff Keighley has a showcase in like 2 weeks?
Oh well, okay, we could just go with Jeff Keighley's
because he's got
post E3.
Gamescom,
he's post E3
Live or whatever.
His summers. His Winter Game Fest or Game Awards, or maybe the Game Awards.
See, I feel like that's too late then. Then that's back to you kind of, it's about 3 months and then the game's out sort of thing. It's probably too soon for me. Yeah, opening night live is the 23rd of August. So we're about 3 weeks away from that. And then that gives Capcom 6 to 9 months really to drum up all the hype and give people opportunities to do previews and all that sort of stuff. Maybe even hands-on events. I don't know if you remember like PAX back in the day. Monster Hunter World was at PAX.
Was it?
Yeah.
I must have missed out.
That was where I actually played it, and that was kind of that demo was kind of the moment for me to be like, yeah, all right, I can give this a crack. I'll give it a go when the time comes. And
well, I played on Games Pass, and that's when I thought, I like this game. I'm going to buy it.
Yeah. God bless Games Pass, right?
Yeah, well, for some people, sure. Others,
Well, yeah, there's others that may not be too happy, especially if their name's Jim Ryan.
Especially in that order.
Yeah. And
also a man with 2 first names. I just figured it out.
High quality people, except Jim's the outlier there. Yeah.
Minus Jim.
Yeah, for me, I feel like it's got to be with Jeff. The timeline otherwise just feels. I mean, or Tokyo Game Show, which I think is like a September showcase. So again, that still gives them 6 months.
But being Capcom is Japanese.
Yeah, so there's always the possibility they do it at home.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jeff might be. I mean, I can imagine that being like. Can you imagine that being like? I feel like, and I guess this is now where we can kind of put the hat on and try and envisage being like watching that showcase, and I feel like it could work as like a one more thing sort of reveal as well.
Oh,
like the very last thing in the showcase, like, okay, thank you everyone, we've got one more trailer to show, and boom, there it is, Monster Hunter World 2 or whatever they want to call it.
Or just another Spider-Man 2 trailer.
Well, yeah. I won't complain about that, but yeah. But I
will admit that last trailer that came out,
it was good.
Brilliant. I will give. It just makes me want to. It is a shut up and take my money trailer.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the dedicated
sold.
state of play there. Geez, we could. I mean, we're getting dangerously close to jumping into a whole topic here about Insomniac because there's reports about them working on another game as well. But maybe we'll
Of
save
course
that.
they would.
Maybe we'll save that for next week. That they or something like that. That they're working on There's some other third game in development. We'll see how we go. But we could be basically doing this exact sort of conversation again, but about Insomniac. So we'll see how we go. But yeah, look, I don't know. Is there anything in particular you want to see in a World 2 or like from the next Monster Hunter?
More monsters. I don't really have anything. Just pretty much just I don't care if you just gave me the same old Monster Hunter game with a different world and different monsters, minus the stupid cat thing sidekick. Just give me the dog. So
Yeah.
I have something. So I have something to ride around on. But
Well,
other than that,
you'll never lose the Palico, I think. So,
no.
but you might get to keep the Palamute. So,
As long as you don't bring in another Sonic.
oh yeah, no
thing.
Sonic collaborations.
No, just no collaborations at all. Just
Oh no, the
none.
Witcher one was pretty cool. Final Fantasy.
Oh yeah, but it did
15
look
one was
like
pretty cool.
yeah, but it did look. But it was actually Geralt. It wasn't just something that you go, "What the hell is that thing?"
That's
Of
true.
an outfit.
Yeah, that's true. Not the outfit stuff. Yeah, the
I
outfit.
mean, yeah, sure, crossovers, sure, that's fine, but it's just got to make sense. You could have the old, whatever that. Forgot what the dinosaur game was. You have a crossover with that.
Dino Crisis.
Dino
Or
Crisis.
Exoprimal.
Exoprimal. Have a crossover with that. It'd make perfect sense. Just not sure about the guns or
Yeah, it's
dragons.
just a T-Rex just drops out of the thing, and it's actually one of the easiest things you fight because like the other T-Rexes you see breathe fire normally.
Or you could do a Dragon's Dogma crossover.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Or Street Fighter one where just Ryu just comes in, just punches monsters in the face.
You're just Hadouken your way through it. Yeah, I don't know. For me, I kind of want to I want to see the Palamute come across from Rise. I also want to see the Wirebug from Rise come across because I think that works
Oh yeah,
really well.
the Wirebug, definitely, yeah.
But otherwise, just give me those like ultra HD visuals. Like make sure it's a PS5 and Xbox Series X game and not another Switch game. And then I'll be happy.
Nothing against the Switch. Nothing against the Switch or anything, but I want to see it on the higher end console, unfortunately.
I want to go back down that path again. Yeah, I really want the high HD stuff. Any other thoughts at all?
No.
All right.
So just give me Monster Hunter. That's all I care about.
Yeah, and look, other games will be cool too, and there's a good chance it might be Resident Evil as well. But yeah, let's will Monster Hunter into existence. All right, we'll wrap things up. If you enjoyed this episode of Patch, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe. All the buttons are down below. Hit the notification bell. That way you're alerted to every new video the moment it goes live on the channel. That includes Patched, Player 2 Plays, Gamer School, and a whole bunch more. Visit the website, player2.net.au for reviews, previews, opinion pieces, news, features, links to the podcast series Patch, the Player 2 Pixelcast, and Dev Diary. We're on Patreon, patreon.com/player2au. Getting a few bucks, lower tiers early access, higher tiers monthly episode exclusives. And finally, there's Twitter. Matto.
Matto_Phil. Or is it X?
Oh,
X
yeah, on
whatever
X.
the hell it's called.
Oh, jeez. Paul James Games for myself. The website is player2au. And until next time, thanks a lot for watching. And, I don't know. Say a little prayer before you go to bed for Monster Hunter. We'll see you later.